Hi guys, in this video I want to describe my workflow and how I get books, consume them on my mobile using something similar to Audible, highlighting quotes and then uploading it to a note-taking app, all for free. I have to preface this by saying that I know this may not be the most ethical of practices, but if I had the money to pay for books, I would. So if you'd like a more ethical way to acquire books, I would suggest that you watch another video. On that note though, I have used this method for books that I've actually purchased previously, so I can write notes and make summaries of those books that I've read. So I wouldn't say it's completely unethical, but let's just say if you want to be resourceful like me, then this video is perfect for you. I generally have 4 apps that I use for this process, which I'll reveal in each step. To start things off, the first step is getting the books for free, in which I use an internet browser. So there's actually already an excellent tutorial to getting books for free on your mobile that I've linked in the top right hand corner. I suggest you just watch his video because it is literally perfect for describing the method of getting the books, and he deserves all the credit for that. In terms of this method, I would also say that this has worked for all non-fiction books that I've gotten so far, so I definitely recommend it. In terms of book formats, I prefer to download EPUBs as it tends to have a better user experience on the phone, and I like scrolling through pages as opposed to the feeling of pages turning one by one. If you like the latter though, I would suggest getting books in the PDF format. There tends to be more of a variety of options in text-to-speech for the PDF format, and it's generally more widely available compared to EPUBs. I've only had to get the PDF version of a book once or twice, but the rest of them are EPUBs. The next app I use in this process is Speechify. The next step is going through the books and being able to take notes so that you can export them to whichever program you use to put your book notes. Speechify is essentially like a free version of Audible, but you can actually follow along with the words. This is helpful as you can copy and paste the quotes you like instead of letting it pass on by in Audible. It also has the ability to read aloud in quite a vast array of media like articles online, and it also has a voice that sounds like Snoop Dogg.
Conscious action to steer yourself in a direction you have predetermined. If you don't plant the mental and physiological seeds of the results you want, weeds will grow automatically.
I would say that you can see it as a better version of Apple's voiceover option that I used to use, but it was just too buggy to continue using. Back to the topic of Speechify, it does have a paid version, but I think they do a very good job at being accessible with their free version. Snoop Dogg's voice though is available in the paid version, so if you want a bit of that doggy love, which just absolutely sends me by the way, your money will be well spent if you want to use their paid version. If you utterly detest the ads on Speechify or you'd prefer another alternative though, you can try something like Speech Central or Text Aloud. If you're considering Apple's voiceover option so you don't have to download anything, the following along with the words tends to stop after a while, and it's generally pretty buggy compared to the other apps that I've mentioned here, so I can't really recommend it. If you prefer to actually read books, you can skip this step actually, but I like having a text-to-speech app as I'm usually doing something while listening to these books. And this has actually led me to be able to read way more books than I previously did in the past. And yeah, after this app, the next one that I like to use is ebooks. After you select your free text-to-speech app of choice, next comes the note-taking of your books. If you have used Apple Books, you'll know that the bulk note exports aren't available, and this is unfortunately not available in Speechify either, even on the premium version actually. Also, when you copy and paste something from Apple Books, it'll have a bunch of crap after the quote, and it's like, why? I don't want this. But at least there is the third app, eBooks, which lets you take notes and bulk export them without having some weird thing attached to the end of your exported notes. I tend to use ebooks the same time I'm listening to a book on Speechify. If there's a quote I like, I'll copy and paste that into ebooks' search feature and then highlight it. From there, you can press the share button to export it to your favorite note-taker app of choice, and for me, that would be Notion. Though Notion is definitely better on desktop, as long as you have it on the iPhone, you can use it easily to gather your notes from ebooks. First, I'll show you the space I will save it to show that the information wasn't there originally, as you can see. So now I'll retrieve my notes from ebooks by clicking on Contents, then Saved, then clicking on the Share button at the top right hand corner of the screen and making sure you save it to the space you want to put it in, and for me this is food for thought. Then I will find Notion in the applications to share these notes to. Then I will usually replace null with the name of the book and I will press send. It might actually take a moment, but you'll see your notes eventually. You'll also see that everything is just saved in the header, but when you go on the desktop version of Notion, you can easily just get everything that shouldn't be in the header, save it in the body of the Notion page, and format it to your liking, as you can see here. After this, I would make a book summary and format it further in my template where I like to collect references, but I'll leave that Notion template for a later video. If you liked the info in this video and would like more productivity tips and Notion templates, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Also, if you have anything you want to ask, feel free to comment down below. Are there any app alternatives you like using apart from the ones I said in this video? I'd love to know. Anyways, have a fantastic and productive day.